Cue the Zaza Pachulia clip. We got a game 7 coming up, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday. Nuggets versus Thunder in OKC. I cannot wait. Game number 6 was 119 to 107. We talked about it a little while ago. The Denver Nuggets always find a way. Before I hit record, I just went back to look. Because I was thinking to myself, man, I feel like I've seen 100 game 7s from Nikola Jokic and company. This is about to be their 7th game 7 as a core. That should be scary if you're an OKC Thunder fan. This is their 7th game 7 with this core. 2018, 2019, they have 2 series. They have the one against San Antonio. They lose one to Portland. The next year in the bubble, y'all remember the 3-1 comebacks versus the Jazz and the Clippers, right? So that's 4 right there. And then we had one last year in Minnesota. That was the game that they blew to Anthony Edwards and company. They had one last round against the Clippers, and now they got this one. This team just loves a lengthy series, I guess, at the end of the day. And that you could tell that they cared. They wanted. This was one of them weird games. We're going into it. I didn't know what to expect because we got the notification that Jamal Murray was sick. And, you can have an MJ flu game or you can have an absolute stinker. I know I personally hate doing my job when I'm sick. I couldn't imagine having to run for 40 fucking minutes. And Jamal Murray, I didn't know which side of the coin it would be. And he was phenomenal today. They said that he was going through IVs to keep his fluids up, so on and so forth. And when they zoomed in on him on the court, you get like his nose was red. And like he's going through some stuff and he still gave them a great performance. There was a time in this game in the third quarter or at the end of the third quarter, we go into the fourth and I'm thinking about the last couple games, how lackluster the Denver Nuggets offense had become in the fourth quarter over the last couple games. So even though they had the momentum in the lead and everything, I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't be able to close it out. And they 100% was, because it was the other side of the thing, the other team that just struggled down the stretch. I'm trying to figure out how many points they had in that fourth quarter, third quarter. I guess it don't really matter. They didn't have enough. Let's just say that they did not have enough points in that fourth quarter. And this Denver Nuggets team, find a way. Like I mentioned, Jamal Murray, sickness gives you 25, 8 and 7, some big old shots. Nikola Jokic looks like the best player in the world. Some of the shots that he hit, just taking what the defense is giving him, right? There were times where they decided to go under screens, and he didn't shoot a lot of three-pointers today, opposed to like a couple games ago he shot 10. But the one three-pointer that he hit, he had recognized that, okay, we're doing this little screen in action, and they're going under on my screens. I'm gonna take what they give me, and I'm gonna hit this big-time 3 here. And time again, they let him get his positioning, and he found a way to create for himself and others. And that was one of the things that OKC had done a pretty good job of throughout the course of the series, eliminating his ability to pass. I think last game he ended up with just 5 assists, but he had 20 potentials, right? His teammates around him didn't hit their shots. Today, those guys hit some of those shots. If Nikola Jokic is going to like the best player in the world, and Jamal Murray is going to like the best Robin, the question is always after that, who else is here for us? Will it be Aaron? Will it be MPJ? Will it be Christian Brown? Will it be this guy? Will it be Brody? Will it be whoever? Today, there's a couple, but the number one guy was my boy Julian Strawther. Comes in, goes on his own personal 8-0 run. He had 17 total points in the series leading up to game 6. He had 15 tonight. He was electric. He was amazing. He hit a shot and the crowd went loud. And I promise you that home court advantage in Denver is a real thing. And you felt it tonight. Christian Brown played a phenomenal game on both sides of the floor, all things considered, where he's getting to the basket, he hitting his shot. And if you're going to have 2 people step up like that, this team is extremely tough to beat. And they had that today, and they needed it. Because I thought that first stretch that Russell Westbrook played, and I love Brody, it was one of the roughest stretches I've seen from him in this postseason. It was bad. It was like 3 turnovers in 3 minutes. It was a missed bunny at the rim. He made up for it somewhat in the second half where he was all energy flying and getting offensive rebounds and tapping the ball out, so on and so forth. But that first stint, I was a little afraid for them because when he checked in, they had the lead. And by the time he checked out, OKC had the lead, bro. It was real rough for him. But eventually, again, he made some value out of his minutes by getting some offensive rebounds down the stretch, so on and so forth. This team is, again, going into their 7th game 7. This is about to be a huge moment for the OKC Thunder. A huge moment. They're one of the youngest teams in basketball, and that was one thing that I'm willing to discount because to me, this team is different than any other young team we've really seen, right? It's always, hey, man, they too young to win, they too young, and it might end up being true on Sunday when they play against each other, but I look past that because I saw who this team was in the regular season. I saw, them earn a little bit of their stripes last year, losing in the second round and so on and so forth. But this team has never been in the game 7 like this. And we're talking about going against a team with the most experience imaginable in a game 7. And that team with the experience happens to also have the best player in the world. It's a scary moment from the Thunder's perspective, but it's going to show you so much. It's going to show you as a team so much. At the end of the day, you want to win a goddamn championship. You're not here to look for, oh, who on our core is this and that. No, you want to win a championship. But it will show you some things. Because tonight, your MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, was great. There was one moment that I absolutely hated, and damn it, it might have been the most important moment of the entire game. You're up by 12 points. You already have 3 fouls in this half. You turn the ball over, and you commit a pointless foul. And now you have 4 fouls going into the second half. And after your coach has to bench you because no way I leave you on the court for this last 2 minutes if you have 4 fouls, the Denver Nuggets go on a run. And now our 12-point lead is only 3. And the only reason it's 3 is because Lou Dort hit a buzzer beat and 3 to go into half. Like, Shai was great tonight, but that was the one thing that shifted the momentum in this game. And we're talking about the first half, right? Anything could have shifted the momentum. But that was the thing. When he went to the bench with that foul and we saw people come in and hitting the shots and so on and so forth, and they weren't the non-Shai minutes tonight were awful. That is a time where Dub has to step up. He did it. He missed dunks. He did this. He did that. He ended up with 10 assists, 7 rebounds. He tried to do. I thought his defense tonight was amazing. I'll say that right here. But he struggled to put the ball in the basket when his team really needed him to. So we talk about this being a huge game 7 for their core and for their future. Sam Presti has to look at this very closely and figure out, hypothetically, if we lose, what does that mean for this core? I think it's easy to be like, oh, they're one of the youngest teams in basketball. We run it back. No. The Denver Nuggets didn't give a damn about anybody else offensively tonight outside of the potential MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's not good. Regardless if you're almost a 70-win team in a regular season, there's no way you feel comfortable or feel like you are going to be able to win a championship or multiple championships if the opposing team is willing to let your second all-star shoot and don't give a damn. You're not going to win a championship if the second, the third, the fourth player are not reliable offensively. Tonight, you can load up all you want on Nikola Jokic, but guess what? Our Robin, who's dealing with some type of illness, he'll be there to step up. And we had a game earlier in the series where Dub was the one to step up and Shai wasn't there to help, right? But in a game 7, coming off this game 6, they're going to learn a lot about who they are as a team, who they are as a core, and what changes should be dealt this offseason. This is not a position I would want to be in if I'm the Thunder, honestly. Could they win? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? But this is the last team I personally would want to see in a game 7. Nikola Jokic is the last person I would want to see in the game 7. And the one thing that they had tonight is the Nuggets were able to get your guys into foul trouble. Again, 4 first half fouls from Shai. In the second half, he didn't foul at all, but he gave up a few layups just because he didn't want to pick up that 5th foul. That's a dangerous thing. And early in the third quarter, the Nuggets recognized that they went right at him 2 times in a row just to start the quarter, just because we know that he don't want to pick up number 5 because that puts Mark Dayton in a weird situation. Are we going to let him play the entire second half? If he got 5 fouls, it's inevitable that he might pick up another one. So they went at him a few times, and he gets into it because he don't want to pick up that 5th one because he recognizes he needs to be on the court, all things considered. So if I give up this layup here, so be it, because my team can score if I'm not there with them. So you get Shai into foul trouble. Caruso picked up some fouls later in the game when they were fouling the thing, so I'm not looking at his 5 fouls. But Jay Will's in foul trouble, Isaiah Hartenstein's in foul trouble, and now they can't play as physical as they normally do. It's a good scheme. I mean, you're really putting a lot of trust into the referees to call the fouls that are necessary, but it worked out tonight. I can't wait to rewatch this game and just look at how open the looks were for anybody not named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Can't be the case. So I cannot wait for this game 7, man. I cannot. This was a run-heavy game. At one point in the first half, this is when Shai ended up picking up his foul with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. They had a 12-point lead, and then towards the end of the thing, the Nuggets almost had a 20-point lead. So this is a huge pendulum swing in the second half. Well, I have the numbers here. In the third quarter, OKC scored 21 to the Denver Nuggets is 32, and then in the fourth quarter, it was a 4-point win for the Denver Nuggets. It's just not enough. That 21 points really, really hurt them in this one. And it keeps boiling down for the second year in a row to the same things. I remember we were at the deadline, And we're all having conversations about like, okay, what can OKC add? This team is legendary right now. They're on pace to win this many games, on pace to be the best defensive team ever, relatively. And it's like, what could they use? And the answer was more shooting. But it's like, oh, things are moving so well. Do you want to break up part of this core to just add an extra shooter? They continue to struggle from three. The same thing from last year. Like, hey, we feel undersized. And they picked up Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been able to get things done on a night-to-night basis. But in the second half, I felt like because of Russell Westbrook's energy and so on and so forth, that they were able to get out rebounded or lose some of them hustle plays from the rebounding part of it. It feels like we're going through the same cycle that we went through last year. And the thing is, they don't, on the other side of things, they don't have anybody that's like, at least off the top of my head, that are shooting lights out this series. Michael Porter Jr. had missed, 11 in a row before he hit his first one in this game. Aaron Gordon had been a phenomenal shooter in the last series. He ain't really shot it that well throughout the course of this entire year. It ain't the same. Basically, what I'm saying is not the same as when PJ Washington did last year. This is going to be tough, man. Again, I'm not even, they can win it because they have the talent to win it. But this is just the last team I would want to see in this predicament. Just the last team I would want to see. Somebody's got to be there. Somebody outside of Shea has got to be there. And I'm not against Shea. You getting more than your 31, 32, baby. This is where legends are made. These game sevens. We've seen what that other side can do. We've seen them in game sevens. Who are you as a team? We're about to find out on Sunday.